Hi everyone, so here is another request video for some embossing techniques. Everyone seems to like the embossing techniques. So the first technique I'm going to show you today is this sort of wet watermark look, as well as the covered mirror pieces. So here I go. First of all, you'll need your desired piece of paper. What I'm using is, this is actually mulberry paper that was designed in India. I think this is a Provacraft brand. And then you're going to need a mask. I used the Heidi Swapp Mini Damask for the card that I just showed you. So just set that card wherever you want it on, or I'm sorry, that mask on wherever you want it on the card, and press it down. And then you're going to take your clear embossing ink. This is Boss Gloss from Stupendous. And you're just going to stamp over the mask. And you don't have to be real perfect on this because I wasn't on that card and I really liked how it was really uneven and it just looked like it was rubbed on there. So just daub it all around there. And you want to make sure you got a good amount of this because you want it to be dark, but don't overdo it. You don't want this to leave a shiny effect on the paper. If you do, let it set for a while. Otherwise, when you put that embossing powder on there, it'll start to boil through and it'll leave white bubbles in your embossing. Okay, so now I've got that down, and now I'm going to apply some clear UD, and UD is ultra thick embossing enamel. This, you have to use this to get this glass effect. And just generously pour that over the top of the paper. Shake that around so I can see where my card is. And just flip that up. And we're going to go a little bit more. And then we're going to dump the excess, and because this is ultra thick embossing enamel, it's not going to show intricate detail. So you're going to have to put a clear, regular embossing powder over it, and I'm going to use Sparkle on the project I just showed you. So stick that back in your tray and pour your sparkles over it. And you have to do this fairly quickly if you're going to use this mulberry paper, because the mulberry paper sucks up that embossing ink really fast, and it tends not to stick as well if you don't do it right away. Okay, so now I've got all the embossing powder on there, and you could actually see where the damask was. Now I'm going to heat set it. Use your metal tool to hold the paper down, and also let your heat gun warm up before you put heat onto the piece of paper. Otherwise, you're going to apply more heat in one area than others, and it could cause one area to boil. Just evenly go over the surface of this. You don't want to stay in one spot for too long. Okay, now we're going to need to paste this to a piece of cardstock and cut it out for more support, because now we're going to make this embossing powder a lot thicker. Okay, so to make this embossing powder a lot thicker, what you're going to do is pour a little bit of UD into your tray. Actually, quite a bit. You want to make a little mountain, because what you're going to do is you're going to scoop it over this card. And then you're going to need your embossing or your metal tweezers. So set that aside and reheat this. Make sure you get all the areas pretty well. Then you're going to take the card and you're just going to scoop some more embossing powder onto the card and level it out just like that. And I didn't melt this enough, so I'm going to go back over it. Okay, so scoop some of that powder up. And it's not going to, some areas are going to heat better than the others, but that's fine because you're going to do this several times. So keep repeating those steps. You can do this one side at a time to make it easier. And this is already getting really thick. But I did it really heavy on that card I showed you, so I'm doing it a few more times. Now while I've got this bottom right corner real melted, I'm going to stick my piece of mirror in there. That mirror area, the mirror is going to get really hot and the UD should stick to it pretty well. So dip that in there again. And just keep dipping around that mirror area. Okay, now I've got the outer areas as thick as I want it to get. So while this is still melted, I'm going to grab a pinch of the UD and I'm just going to put it right on top of the mirror because now I'm focusing on making that mirror look like a bubble. And as this melts, it'll get smoother and smoother. So while that side's cooling, I'm going to work on the other side now. And this is making a really nice glassy effect. And that glitter is showing up really well now that it's magnified. So just keep going until you get the desired amount of thickness. The more you melt the image, the smoother it gets. So you can either make it lumpy or you can make it really smooth. I'm doing it pretty smooth, but in some areas I'm leaving it lumpy just for texture. Okay, so now I've got that really cool, starry, glassy effect on my card. And let me zoom in here so you can see it better. I didn't realize that this video was going to take up so much time, so there's going to be a couple more videos on embossing that you may want to check out.